Nathan, please step forward. Nathan will be playing the part of God. No pressure. Julie, step forward. Julie will be playing the part of Noah's wife, Mary Ann. Kristen, step forward. Kristen will be playing the part of the dove of peace. Hayden, Whitney, Anna. Step forward, please. They will be playing the part of the boards. The boards. The boards. All right. Then we have Courtney and Caitlin. They will be playing the part of the dogs. Madeline and Olivia will be playing the part of the mosquitoes. Lauren and Abby will be the bears. Jody and Carla will be the cows. Caitlin and Shelby will be pigs. Mackenzie and Noelle will be wolves. Rawr. And Cole will be the other bird. All right, sit right back and you will hear a tale. Tale of a fateful trip. Several passengers set sail that day aboard a tiny ship. God stepped forward. Oh, I'm sorry, hold on, pause, step back. I almost forgot one of our most important cast members. Yourselves. Every good 3-hour tour needs a storm. So I'm going to be counting on you, especially our splash zone right here. You've already gotten a little wet this evening. I'll be counting on you to make appropriate storm noises when instructed. If you can do that, please give me a thumbs up. You are so sworn in. Here we go. God stepped forward and looked out over his creation. It was a long, serious gaze. His angry frown, or whatever that was, and furrowed brow showed just how upset he was about all the wickedness he saw. He said, "We're going to have to clean up this mess."
We don't have to clean up this mess.
God was very serious. That's when God called Skipper, or Noah, and his family. That would be his wife, and Gilligan / Ham. They bowed down before God, bowing, yeah, and said, "We are not worthy. We are not worthy.
We are not worthy."
And God said, "Well, Skipper, because of your righteousness, believe it or not, you actually are worthy."
Because of your righteousness, believe it or not.
And I'm not going to wait for you to say all that. That made Skipper's son, Gilligan, and Skipper's wife, Mary Ann, very happy. They jumped up, they jumped down, they jumped up, and they hugged the Skipper. Skipper was embarrassed by all this show of emotion and hit Gilligan. Much to their surprise, God waved his hands. But hands, that's plural. And said, "Hush, there's a flood coming, and you've got to get your ship together." Skipper, Gilligan, and Mary Ann gave a big sailor salute and shouted, "What's a ship?"
What's a ship?
All right. So God gave them instructions, and they grabbed the boards. They grabbed the boards and carried them to the front of the stage and laid them down on top of one another. Let's lay them this way. There we go. There we go. Lay them down on top of one another. On top of one another. And nailed them together. So after all of this back-breaking work, they'd step back, look at their work, and saw that it was well done. They high-fived each other, except for Gilligan, who had hit his thumb with the hammer and was hopping around on one foot, making a lot of owl noises, general whining and complaining. All right, so then the skipper and his family started to load the animals. Each animal, of course, made its own noise and special pose as it was loaded into the ark. Good luck, ark. All right, first came the bears. The bears. All right. Then there were the birds. The dove and friend bird. Noises, I need noises. Noises. Then there were the cows. And the wolves. There we go. Then the dreaded mosquito. Which of course everyone started slapping. Then came the pigs. These, of course, were Gilligan / Ham's favorite. But he actually went over and hugged the pigs. You know, because they needed to, like, bond. All right, then came the dogs. Yes, woof woof. They were so happy to be on board that one of them lifted up her... No, not what you were thinking. Gotcha. Lifted up her face and began licking Marianne's face. There she is. She's even provided it close to your level for you to look. She laughed and said, "Down, girl." Oh, we'll see if you really can dog paddle. All right, as soon as the last animal was loaded, a great storm arose. It started out quietly. Then it got louder. Then it got quiet again. Then it got loud. And then there was a huge, great wave. That was nice. All right. Then there were some small waves. Then another huge, great wave. All right. The animals shrieked with fear. That was sad. Do it again. Yeah, I felt real fear that time. Gilligan yelled out, "Skipper, you know what animals do when they get scared. We better do something fast." So, they began patting different animals to calm them. Patting them on their heads, tickling them under their chins, scratching the backs of their necks, swatting those mosquitoes, pesky mosquitoes. All right, while he did, he reminded them it was just a 3-hour tour. But in fact, it was 40 days and 40 nights, and we're still all huddled together, on the boat, rocking back and forth, getting seasick and forth, not even on the ocean, and forth. And the waves from the front row started smacking at them. Come on, get up there, smack at them. So some of 3 brave waves from the front pew smacked at them. I'll revise the story, that's fine. So that's when the skipper decided he was going to send out his trusty dove of peace. And the dove went running around the room looking for a dry place to land. That's not the room. This is the room. You're going to have to run faster than that. We're never going to get off this boat. As the dove was running around the room, she kept saying 60s phrases like, peace, man, far out. Make sun, not rain. You're the dove of peace, come on. The storm was still raging. Thank you for that raging. I love how the storm says rage, so you know it's raging. And the waves were still rolling. And the poor dove couldn't find a place to sit. So, came back up to the front of the room, was bummed. It was a pretty bad trip. 2 more weeks went by, and by this time, no, don't come back up here. You're about to have to do it again. 2 more weeks went by, and by this time, the ark was way ripe. Marianne held her nose. Oh, yeah, she's about to pass out. Man, we need a can of ark freshener. Gilligan made gagging noises. All right, and Skipper hit Gilligan. Apparently that solves all the problems. So 2 weeks later, the dove went out around the room again, doing her 60s thing, making the peace sign, slapping people on their backs, saying make rain not, make sun not rain. And this time, she found a nice lap to sit in and didn't come back. The storm, which was raging, grew quieter and quieter. You gotta give me something. I've got 2 more quieters here. And quieter. And quieter. And one last little wave rippled across. And that's when the skipper yelled out, "Land ho!" That was wonderful. Gilligan and Marianne shouted, "Ahoy, matey!" And the animals yelled, "Full steam ahead!" And the boards yelled, "Avast, ye landlubbers!" And the storm said, "All paws on deck!" The animals began to make noises of joy, which all sounded like hooray, apparently. And they all scurried off of the ark. Scurry. That's not scurrying. You're excited. Woo! Yeah, off. The skipper, Gilligan and Marianne, looked up into the heavens. God looked down on them. Or down at their feet. And about that time nope, you're still there. About that time, a beautiful rainbow filled the sky. Despite the raging storm and flood, these sailors realized that God was always looking out for them. Thank you.
We think it's over, and you know how it ends. And that is the oftentimes weird, sometimes wacky, but most delightfully wonderful world of wheat. Hey, since we're kind of in a skid mode, y'all are looking good tonight too, by the way. I can feel the energy. Little skid's coming up. Conway second back.